My 2 cents? He hates women who aren't put in this world for him.
All right, I'm a stupid old cop. What's that supposed to mean?
Means he wants a girl, someone he can do everything for, but if that girl becomes a person...
It fits. All 4 of the women that he killed...
Allegedly killed.
All right, you want to go down that road, allegedly, fine, whatever. All 4 of them were career women who are on the way to becoming one.
He told this stripper I know that she was the only honest woman he ever knew, that their relationship was the only honest one he'd ever been in.
Do we have enough on this guy for a warrant?
Maybe, if I stretch it. But considering how careful he's been so far, we could tear apart his place for a month before we found anything. And even then, all his lawyer would have to say is, the dead girl was his fiancée, of course there'd be evidence of her in his apartment. I don't think evidence is going to be enough to get this guy. Certainly not with what we have so far. I want to bring him in again.
And if he refuses?
He won't. He's smarter than me. At least that's what he thinks.
Well, it's good you caught me. No, not that way. It's just I've been thinking of moving up my trip to Iraq. You know, the Americans have done absolutely nothing to rebuild that country. Makes you proud to be Canadian, doesn't it? I mean, everything that's happened that lets me believe that we were right not to go in. Don't you think so?
I don't care about any of that stuff, really. Do you want to take a seat?
Well, you should. It's our world, a place that we're leaving to our children.
Well, I guess my interests are a little narrower than that.
So you still believe I killed her?
No. I believe you killed her and 3 others.
Well, wouldn't I be bragging then? Isn't that what a serial killer does? Don't they try to get the numbers up? Cut a deal if they get you more bodies?
Some of them do.
Don't you want that?
Of course not.
Oh, come on. Wouldn't that be good for your career? Nail a real bad one?
4 dead women's plenty bad for me, thanks.
Come on, you're one of those women, aren't you?
What women?
One who puts her career first?
You, kind of have a problem with women like that, don't you?
No. Mind?
Knock yourself out. And about your problem with women, I think you're lying.
Oh, so you know me that well already?
No people like you. Not a few of them in my time. If you think you're unique, you're dreaming.
Well, suit yourself. You know me. You know I killed 4 women. But you don't have enough to prove any of it. Isn't that right? Isn't that why I'm here? Because you just don't know. Don't you want to know who I am?
I want to know what you did.
Not interested in why?
So you did do what I said?
Oh, tricky, tricky. Of course I didn't. But I ask you, do you really want to know who I am?
Only if you're willing to tell the truth.
Oh, I wouldn't lie to you, Sergeant. So let's finally have an honest conversation. I was one of those kids who remembered things early. I was about 2 years old when I remember my parents arguing, and I knew then that she didn't want me.
Did she ever show you that, physically?
She never touched me. You know, she went back to work 6 weeks after I was born. She gave away her chance to be a wife and a mother.
And what did your father think of that?
My father wasn't a man. He was whipped. And when he couldn't take it anymore, he just left.
Did you ever see him again?
You know what the last thing he said to me was? Never marry. And then he left me with the woman who made him say that. 5 nannies. And hardly one of them could speak English. You don't do that to a child. You don't do that if you're a real woman or a mother. You just don't do that.
Sometimes circumstances aren't that simple. Sometimes a woman has no choice.
Oh, she had a choice. My mother. She had all the choice that she wanted. She had everything that she wanted. But she gave nothing back. I went to my father's funeral by myself. A 12-year-old boy, and I went to my father's funeral by myself. He walked onto that highway because she made him.
Made him how?
Oh, you don't believe me?
I'm just asking.
She made him because she ripped his balls off. She wouldn't allow him to be a man. Don't you get it? We were put on this world to look after you, and you were put on this world to look after us. But the minute one of us starts to care for you, you're not interested.
Like Carla going to Harvard?
Oh, she didn't need to go to Harvard. I was halfway through dental school when I met her. I could have cared for her. I wanted to care for her. But she just used me. I helped her study, I helped her get her grades up, and then she just dumped me. Didn't want me anymore.
And what did you do?
I erased her from my life.
How?
Okay, don't, okay? Please don't. You know, you trying to figure me out is just, it's pathetic.
So why'd it go bad between you and Jane?
Oh, Jane. You know, that's what you don't understand about me. I love women. And I thought that Jane was going to be the one. I wanted to care for her. But she was slipping away from me. And I told your partner about that. She had a man. All she had to do was be a lady. That's all I wanted.
Come on. A lady? You go to strip clubs every night. You cruise for hookers. We've been watching you less than a week, and that's all you do.
Because that's where truth is. At least those women know the equation. I give them what they need, and they give me what I need. Money for sex. And I'm comfortable with that. That's real. That's like a car commercial. That's a beer commercial. That's every fashion magazine. Christ, there's more cleavage in there than there is in Hustler. But money for sex, you're never satisfied with that. You always want more than your share.
I'm sorry, baby. But I don't know what that means.
It means you use sex to get what you want. A man to care for you. And that's what we want too. But you're never satisfied with that. You want our jobs. You want your freedom.
And what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that is it makes us irrelevant. It makes half the human race irrelevant. We were put in this world to look after you, and you won't let us. I knew those two other girls that were killed, you know? And they were just like Jane and Carla, especially Allison. You know, the first time we had sex, right after we did it, you know what she did? She asked me to sign a letter of recommendation so she could go to Pan Pacific College because she knew my mother was the founder. Oh. She used me.
What did you do?
I erased her.
What?
I'm getting so tired of this.
No. I'm sorry, it doesn't go that way. I get my turn.
McCormick for the defense?
Hardly. I just want you to know you're right. Now you must feel like that guy in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. You know the truth, but no one else will listen. You should get past the pictures of the cleavage in those magazines, though, because they're all about how to play you guys. See the clothes in there, the good stuff? We buy that for each other. So we can walk down the street and look at each other and go, sister, you made it. So did I. That good stuff. It's not for you. You. All we gotta do is buy some $10 piece of shit from some sex shop on Davie Street. Because we know that even the smart ones like you are still way more stupid than we'll ever be.
A little reverse psychology, detective.
You want to call it that? Go ahead. I don't give a shit. All I know is that I'm nearing the big 4-0 and I walk into a bar, I still don't have to pay for a drink. Last 3 guys I took home, 10 years younger than me, and they loved it. In fact, they were grateful. You want that, you gotta pay for some woman who can't stand the smell of you.
I don't have to pay for it. I choose to.
Yeah, sure you do, Ian. Come on, don't be stupid. You keep telling me how smart you are. You should be grateful to your mother, you know. She tried to teach you how to stand on your own 2 feet, and instead all you can do is whine about how your life is so unfair. You're supposed to be a man. Why don't you act like one?
Well, why didn't she act like a woman?
Ian? She did. God damn it, don't you get it? We're not toys. We're not sex objects. We're smarter. We live longer. We keep the race alive. Every day is a competition between us, Ian, and guess what? Your side's losing. You want to know why I'm screwing Rufy Paul the bad boy? Because he's a defense lawyer. And because he can't think past his dick like the rest of you, I get all sorts of stuff out of him about his clients so I can throw them in jail.
Well, maybe I should tell him that.
You think he doesn't already know? Hey, I have an idea. Maybe you should get him to defend you. That'd be a good test, wouldn't it? Make him choose between defending a fellow male, guy he went to university with, guy got to double team a girl with, or losing the opportunity of having me go down on him every night. Gee, I wonder which he'd pick. Smarter than me. Shit, man, you're not even close. I got 4 dead women behind me, and every one of them would have become more than you ever will. You killed 4 of us, and I'm here to even that up. Throw him in the lockup assaulting a police officer.
Got something. Heparin. It's an anticoagulant. There was a lot of it in Jane Thrush's system.
Why?
The puncture wound in her neck. Even if her BP was redlining, a wound that size should close up. The anticoagulant would have stopped that.
So whoever did this had some medical training.
You could find out about it on the net, but there's something else. Look at number 23. That's a recent extraction.
Why didn't you see this before?
Had a temporary cap, didn't notice.
Well, then why do you think the neck wound was the cause of death? There's more blood loss from a pulled tooth.
Judging from the tissue trauma, it looks like this was taken after a death.
Professionally?
I'd say. Call for the dental records on the other 3. Have them by the morning.
He took a trophy.
You should have got me out sooner. I did the best I could. That fell short. Typical.
I thought you would have hid them better. You want to do me a favor? Go say hi to your dad for me.